afternoon, everybody. Car Biker here. I was going to go that way, but it looks very rainy over there, so I think I'll go straight on and hope that for once I'll be lucky and not be a rain god. Maybe I can avoid it, do a big penalty round. So I'm just out for a quick spin. I've not been out on the bike for about a week. I had my 2 weeks off and I didn't get out very much at all, unfortunately. The weather's been atrocious. Thought about going out on it the other day, taking Mrs. C on her birthday to Bempton Cliffs, which is a nature reserve for birdies, RSPB one. Although apparently RSPB is not just birds anymore, it's all sorts of wildlife. They told me as we were trying to sell me a membership. We went out to Bempton to try and see puffins, which don't seem to be there yet. Well, certainly if they were there, they were out eating or catching fish. And an albatross, because for some reason there's an albatross that's been blown off course, they reckon, and he's at Bempton now. But we didn't get to see either. What we did get to see was massive storms. And we got to see ourselves being nearly blown over by the winds. So I'm quite glad that in the end I decided to go in the car. We knew it was going to be slightly windy, so no drone, so thought I'd take the whole camera equipment, which my camera bag weighs a good 15 kilos and my shoulders aren't really up to that bouncing around on my collarbones. That said, Mrs. C had been on the back and it wouldn't have been very fair to make her have my camera bag back, so I didn't get to use the bike then. So I'm using the bike today just to blow off a bit of steam, because I've had a disaster, absolute disaster. Those of you who know me will understand, those of you who don't know me will say, that's not a disaster. But the disaster is, my coffee machine's just broken. Which, if you know me, absolute disaster. So the only thing between the coffee machine breaking and me getting on the bike was me doing a click and collect, so I can go and pick up a new coffee machine in a couple of hours, and hopefully I can last that long without grinding some beans. So anyway, I thought I'd just come out, say blow off some steam, do a little video. I'm going to take it easy today, just doing a nice calm little ride down some nice little twisty-ish roads, speed limit stuff, because there's often speed police around here. Not that I would have the speed, of course, but there's often speed police around here. And I thought I'd just mention a new sort of camera that I saw in the news that they're testing in France. Not a camera for taking pictures of albatri. I'm sure that's bound to be the plural of albatross, isn't it? Albatri, albatrossaurus, something like that. But a new speed camera. Speed cameras are a weird one. I don't really have a lot against them, to be honest. In the main, the speed vans are a bit sneaky, but in the main the speed cameras just sit there, and in this country have a sign a couple of miles ahead of them saying there's going to be a speed camera. Quite often with the vans it's like that as well. And very rarely are they completely unfair. Occasionally they are completely unfair, and occasionally they do get you for, you know, silly amounts. If you're speeding by 1 or 2 miles an hour, I don't see an issue with that. I think much better that you're making progress and looking where you're going than making progress and keeping an eye on your speedo more than the road. But in general, I think speed cameras, it's like a voluntary tax, isn't it? And taxes are high enough in this country that if there are voluntary ones that mean my other ones can come down, I'm all for them. But the one they're testing in France is something a little bit new. It's a kind of mix of the camera that sits at the side of the road and catches you speeding there and then, and the camera that sits in a series and works out your average speed as you go past. So they've come up with this new thing that apparently it can see a lot further. I've got to get ahead of this stuff for the fun bent. It can see a lot further than like a gatso or a speed gun that a policeman would hold. But rather than taking one shot of you or two shots, it actually, by the sound of it, uses video and lasers and all sorts of wonder to constantly take lots of pictures, so that it can not only catch you speeding when it first sees you much further away than a normal camera would, but also can work out an average speed that you're going over a distance without having to have multiple installations. And more than that, it can detect that special type of person who goes at ridiculous speed, and then when they see the camera, slows down and then speeds up again. It can actually detect, allegedly, the person slamming the brakes on, which is fascinating. Now, I don't know what I think about it, if I'm honest, but I'm intrigued to know what everybody else does. As I say, I'm not particularly against speed cameras, but that's probably because I've never actually been caught by one. It's been close. And I did a video a while back where I said I thought I'd been caught by one in the car, which was a bit of bad luck, I think, but as it turns out, never got me. That one did actually have me worried for quite some time. I certainly stuck to the speed limit religiously after that one, because of the new penalties, and I talked about that in the video, but I won't go into them. But suffice to say that in this country, you can get banned very, very quickly nowadays with the new penalties. Yeah, I thought it was quite an interesting one. If they come to this country and are used in the same way they're used currently, you know, signs ahead of time warning you you're on a potentially dangerous bit, oh, rain's coming, so you know you've been given every warning. As the policeman said to me once on a course, I think it was on the bike safe course, he said if you've seen the speed cameras, the speed camera signs, and you've still carried on speeding and you come up against a van, you kind of deserve it. Anyway, what do you think? Let me know in them there comments. Is it just another way of extracting money from us? But if it is just another way of extracting money from us, given the fact that they seem to be trying to take all of our money at the moment with all these new tax rises and all the extra VAT they're getting on petrol and gas and electric and what have you, as that all goes through the roof. What happened to that 5 or 6 pence off, depending on how you look at it? The 5p off of duty and the 1p of the VAT on that duty. I never saw that go down at any petrol stations. Yeah, as soon as they're taking all this extra money off us, because they clearly need it to pay for all of the cock-ups that they've made and all of the fraud that they've let people get away with. Oh, bit political there. Maybe a few voluntary taxes like that aren't necessarily a bad thing. I'm going to get shot down for that, aren't I? Anyway, let me know. Thanks for watching, everyone. Ride safe, and I'll talk to you all again soon.